Gang's all here. Welcome in. It's the LL Spring Sports Roundtable. We got a packed panel again this week. Jason Garente, Christian Eby, Brian Markley, Jeff Reinhardt here, LMP and Lancaster Online. We're running out of teams, guys. According to the calendar, we got a week and a half left in spring sports. There are a handful of LL teams still dancing in line for state glory. Coming up this weekend, and then the following weekend will be state championships and everything. So let's talk everything LL, who's still alive, who's still playing, who and where they play next. Let's start with lacrosse. Still a couple of teams dancing there, including both Manheim Township boys and girls. Brian, go.
Yep, like Jeff said, Township boys and girls are still alive. We'll start on the boys' side first. The Blue Streaks beat North Allegheny last evening 11-8. Simon Bowen, huge night for him, 6 goals. We're going to skip to the fourth quarter on this one. The Township led 8-3. With about 2.5 minutes left, it all of a sudden became 9-8. It got scary for the Blue Streaks quick. Bowen scored a 6th goal with just over a minute left. Can't be more timely than that. Charlie Hill, 3 goals and assist. Manheim Township will head to the quarterfinals up at Penn State at, I believe it's scheduled at 5 p.m. It's going to be after the girls' game, but we'll get to that in a second. Elsewhere in 2A, LS beat Crestwood 18-7. If you remember last week, the district final, they really struggled to get their offense going. They did not struggle to get their offense going in this one. Cole Lopez, 6 goals, 2 assists. Grant Phileas, 5 goals, 2 assists. The Pioneers really started hot. It's exactly what they needed to do. They will move on to the quarterfinals. I believe that they have Twin Valley next, a familiar foe. And then lastly, we had a team bow out of the state playoffs. I'm going to pass it over to Christian. He was at that one. Talk us about Penn Manor's historical season coming to an end.
Yeah, so Penn Manor made the trip out to Bethel Park yesterday to face Mount Lebanon, the WPIAL champ, and valiant effort, but just couldn't quite scrape across the win. Grant Bradburn led the Comets with 4 assists, 2 goals, and Payne Englert scored 2 as well. They trailed only 7-5 at halftime, but then the wheels just kind of fell off in the second half. Mount Lebanon outscored the Comets 7-2, but for their first ever state appearance, they felt like they belonged. They seemed like they belonged. They really didn't back down, and they got a good group coming back next year. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of the Comets in the state dance.
And what was their slogan with the letters?
RIT, relentless integrity and togetherness. So, and you definitely saw that yesterday for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a fun squad to watch, and I enjoyed them this year. Going to the girls' side, Manheim Township, let's start there. 19-3 victory over Upper St. Clair. This game was only 4-2 after the first quarter. Toby Bergstrom, junior defender, was not all too pleased with that. She broke the huddle. In between quarters, they only let up 1 goal and 2 shots on goal the rest of the way. Lexi Kaufman, 6 goals. Liv Palmer, 3 goals, 4 assists. Kat Boomsma, 3 goals, 2 assists. It just keeps going, and that's why I think they're going to make a real run at the state title, because they don't just have 3 goal scorers, they have like 6. So you can't game plan for just 1 or 2 players. So they will have Saturday at Penn State, 2:30, they have Pine Richland. So another township doubleheader that I will be at. And then on Monday night, we had Hempfield, who lost 12-2 to Bishop Shanahan. Tough game for Hempfield, but I will say they didn't make the LL League playoffs, but they were one of the last 2 girls lacrosse teams standing.
About that.
So tip of the hat to the Black Knights on a nice season and really putting things together at the end. But that's where we're at in Lax.
Nice. Cole Lopez, good football player. The girl from Township you mentioned, Bergstrom, firecracker.
Oh, she's great.
Absolutely.
She's great.
Enjoy Panzer on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, let me rip through softball. 2 teams made states. Here we go. They were both district runners-up. LL champs Solanco in 5A, Northern Lebanon in 4A. Solanco got a home game in states, and they lose to West Allegheny from WPIAL 10-4 in the first round. So Solanco out in the first round. They finished up 24-3. Great season for Solanco. They were great, but ran into a pretty good West A team in the first round. So Solanco's out. Tip of the cap to the Mules. Awesome season. Northern Lebanon, District 3 runner-up in 4A, had to go to the greater Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area on Monday in Archbald, Lackawanna County, to play Valley View, the 3-time reigning District 2 champ. Came into the game averaging 11 runs a game with 50-plus homers and 4 Division I recruits. They were pretty good. But Northern Lebanon played great. 1-0 game. Lindsey Mauser pitched awesome, only gave up 3 hits, but one of them was a solo home run in the 6th inning to one of Valley View's sluggers. So Northern Lebanon bows out 1-0 in the first round. Mauser got her 400th strikeout in the game. Nice feather in her cap. Northern Lebanon finishes up section champ, LL semis, first District 3 final, and first state trip since 1998. So good job, Vikings. Good job, Mules, in softball this spring. That's it for softball. Jason, baseball, take it away, please.
5 teams made it. 2 advanced to the quarterfinals, both from Section 2, both in Class 5A. Lampeter-Strasburg, the District 3 champs, took out Peters Township. Cooper Hillen has been the postseason revelation. He did not pitch the entire regular season. He struck out 6 of the final 7 batters he faced to close out a 2-1 win over Peters Township. They advanced to face Pine Richland, the District 7 runner-up. They're going to be going west to get to the championship if LS can get that far. The other team to advance is Elizabethtown, which was the 4th place team, the 3rd place team in District 3. They beat the District 1 champ Radnor, and they have that pitching combination. They have Isaiah Shader and Justin Borger, and that is tough when you can line those guys up one after another. And if they score runs, they had 4 runs in that game, that's usually enough. Their problem is they haven't been able to score enough runs this season. So E-Town's still alive. It gets Palmyra. Palmyra is the District 3 runner-up, which lost to LS in the final. That's Palmyra's only loss. So this will be a tough matchup for E-Town. The game's at Millersville Thursday morning, so it's a local game if you want to go watch some of the last teams still standing in the LL. The 3 teams eliminated: Conestoga Valley, first state trip since 1986, could not get the school's first PIAA win. They fell. Ephrata had to face the District 1 champ North Penn, so they went out. And the biggest news was Hempfield, the defending 6A champs, lost on a walk-off to Hazleton. Hempfield started 22-0 and lost 2 of their last 3 games. They didn't get to the district final, or obviously didn't make a run in states. Sometimes teams you run out of gas, and they look like a team where maybe that happened. Your pitching gets worn down. You saw that with some of the best pitchers in the LL. They weren't the same in the beginning of states as they had been all season because of their heavy workloads. So Hempfield falls 4-1 in that game. They didn't hit like they have all season, and that's the end of just a golden era in Black Knights history. That was the first state championship they've ever won, and that's a very storied program. So it's hard to win a state championship in baseball, and we saw that now. So 2 teams left, and they need 3 wins to win a state championship.
E-Town Bears. Cinderella? Cinderella, maybe?
Not when Shader and Borger are pitching. Okay. I mean, I think Radnor got a tough break there. That's a tough draw. They can beat anybody. Their thing is, can they score? Can they scratch across runs? And if they get a lead, it's tough to watch 92 go past you when you're trying to come back from 3-1 or 4-1. You know?
Interesting. Okay. I'll wrap it up with volleyball. 1 team still standing, not surprising. Since we last spoke, Manheim Central won the District 3 2A title. They beat York Suburban 3-0 last Thursday night. Since Central lost to Cedar Crest in the league final, Barons have won 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. They're focused and determined, and they've found a good groove. They opened state play on Tuesday against Palumbo out of Philly, 3-0, and they cruised. 10, 14, 14 in 54 minutes. Look out. Barons next play on Saturday in the state quarterfinals against a team they know, Doc Mennonite out of the Philly area. Doc beat Central 3-0 in the 2022 state quarters. So a little revenge on the mind for the Barons. That match is Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, yawn, at Cocalico. So Central certainly knows that court. If they win, they would go to the state semifinals next Tuesday. That's it for volleyball. For the good of the order, that was a tongue twister. Jason, anything?
I just wanted to bid farewell to Del Jackson, LLHoops.com. Just a constant figure on the LL basketball scene. Del passed away last month. He developed that website and ran it for 25 years, and he was a friend to everyone in the LL basketball community. And the season will not be the same without Dell sitting at that table in the corner of the gym next year. So I just wanted to everyone know that we were thinking about his family and his contributions to LL basketball.
Well said. Christian?
I think I got all my bases covered. But
You're
yeah,
good to go?
Yeah.
Enjoy your road trips. Brian, anything?
LL Lacrosse Boys and Girls All-Stars. Girls are already up on our site. They had their first ever All-Star game on Sunday, which was really
I saw
neat.
that.
The senior All-Stars played in that. Really cool event, first of its kind to recognize the All-Stars. Boys list will be up this week. And yeah.
Okay. We will have one more show mid next week, leading up to anybody who makes the state finals on the 14th, which is next Saturday. So next week we will tell you who's left and who's playing for state gold, and then we'll kind of put a bow on 2024-25, which was a pretty amazing year in the LL League. We'll try to wrap it up and put a bow on it, talk about the champs and the kids and some of our favorite memories, and having these two guys on board with us now. So stay tuned for that. Good luck to everybody in states this week. For Jason, Christian, Brian, I'm Jeff. It's the LL Spring Sports Roundtable, and we will see you next week.